You know that feeling, right? The reassuring weight of a physical book in your hands, the smell, the sound of a page turning. But what if I told you that that very object is changing? Quietly, but in a really fundamental way. One that could turn your bookshelf from a simple library into, well, a collection of luxury goods.
I know, it sounds a little crazy, doesn't it? We're talking about a simple paperback book, something that's been a symbol of accessible knowledge for centuries. So what on earth is going on? Why is this suddenly on track to become a luxury? To get it, we have to look past the cover, past the ink, and deep into the very fibers of the page itself.
You see, this story doesn't start with printers or authors. Nope, it starts with something you can't even see. The invisible building block of every single book page you've ever turned. It's a natural resource we totally take for granted, but it's now at the heart of a massive global power struggle. And that building block is called cellulose. It is literally the most abundant organic polymer on our planet. It's what makes trees, well, trees. And for us, for most of modern history, its most important job was pretty simple: be the raw material for paper. But that is changing, and it's changing fast.
What's happening is basically a modern-day gold rush, except instead of gold, it's a cellulose rush. All of a sudden, three massive, powerful global industries are all fighting over the exact same raw material that we use to make our books.
So, let's meet contender number one, the e-commerce boom. I mean, just think about it for a second. Every time you click Buy Now, every delivery, every return, it all needs a box. The global demand for cardboard and packaging is absolutely exploding, and all of it is made from cellulose.
You want to put a number on that? 2.14 billion. That's the estimated number of people buying stuff online around the world, each and every one of them getting packages that need paper pulp. That has created a demand for cellulose that the world has, quite simply, never seen before.
And look, this isn't just a gut feeling. The data from Statistica confirms it. We're seeing this incredible upward climb in packaging demand, and it shows no signs of slowing down. That puts an immense, almost unbelievable amount of pressure on the global supply of wood pulp.
All right, contender number two is one you probably wouldn't expect. It's the fashion industry. Yeah, you heard that right. As brands try to move away from oil-based plastics like polyester, they're turning to green alternatives. Fabrics like viscose, modal, and lyocell. And what are they made from? You guessed it, dissolved wood pulp, cellulose. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The market for these cellulose-based fibers is projected to grow by over 6% every single year. That might not sound like a huge number, but it's growing way faster than traditional textiles, creating yet another huge drain on the exact same resource.
And this is not some small niche market either. A World Bank report calls this a major market disruption. So yeah, big fashion is now in direct competition with your favorite book publisher for the very same trees. It's kind of wild. And that brings us to our final contender, the global energy sector. In the race for renewable energy sources, a lot of countries have turned to something called bioenergy, which is basically a fancy way of saying they're burning wood pellets for electricity. This sector consumes an enormous quantity of wood, which is, of course, cellulose. And just so you can get a sense of the scale we're talking about here, 22.3 million metric tons. That's how many wood pellets the European Union alone imported in a recent year. That is a staggering amount of biomass being burned for energy instead of being used for other things, like making paper.
And the analysis from Bloomberg makes it really clear this demand is fundamentally changing global markets. And energy policy in one corner of the world is now directly jacking up the price of raw materials for industries everywhere else. So, what happens when you have three giant, fast-growing, and frankly very rich industries all fighting for the same limited resource? You get an inevitable price shock. It's classic supply and demand. Demand is just massively outstripping supply.
And listen, this isn't just an industry problem. It's a recognized economic phenomenon. This right here, this is the title of an academic paper studying this exact issue. Scientists and economists are watching this happen in real time, documenting a genuine structural scarcity.
And this chart really just says it all. It shows the squeeze perfectly. Historically, that pulp for paper slice would have been the biggest piece of the pie, no question. But now, just look at it. It's being completely crowded out by the massive, growing demands from packaging, textiles, and bioenergy. The raw material for books is now a minority player in its own market.
So here it is, the crucial point. Your local bookstore is now in a global bidding war. Who are they bidding against?
just Amazon's packaging division, fast fashion giants, and international energy conglomerates. It's a competition that, let's be honest, the publishing industry just can't win on price.
So how does all this global stuff, this competition, connect back to the book on your shelf? Well, all these pressures, from e-commerce, from fashion, from energy, they all circle right back and land on that one simple object. And they are fundamentally changing its future.
And this right here perfectly illustrates the massive economic shift. For decades, the main cost of making a book was the printing, the labor, the shipping. The paper itself, it was cheap, it was abundant, but now that whole equation has completely flipped on its head. The dominant cost, the one factor that decides if a book even gets made, is the raw material. It's the cellulose, because it's now scarce and incredibly expensive.
And the outcome here is pretty unavoidable. The cost to produce a physical book just skyrockets. This transforms it from an affordable mass-market good into a premium niche product, a luxury item, all because its core ingredient is now one of the most sought-after materials on the entire planet.
And that leaves us with a really critical question. We've always seen books as this incredible tool for democratizing knowledge, for making ideas available to everyone. But if that knowledge is increasingly being printed on an expensive luxury good, who gets left behind?